this laying of the foundation stone of the Pinnacle Tower and Hilton Hotel.
In the very heart of Nairobi, where the streets pulse with ambition and steel towers scrape the skies, one project stood out above all, a vision so bold it promised to make Kenya home to Africa's tallest building. It was more than concrete and glass. It was a symbol of power, of pride, of possibility. And yet today, all that remains is an empty pit, a haunting scar in the cityscape, echoing with unfulfilled promises and lost millions. What happened to the Pinnacle Towers? This is not just a story about a building. It's about ambition, controversy, global partnerships, and a dream that has yet to awaken. Back in 2016, Nairobi was buzzing with excitement. The country had just witnessed a surge of development projects, from the standard gauge railway to massive road expansions. Kenya's economy was growing and investors were hungry for more. In this atmosphere of optimism, two companies, Haz Petroleum, a Kenyan enterprise, and White Lotus Group, a Dubai-based developer, unveiled an audacious plan, a 70-story twin-tower complex in Upper Hill, one of Nairobi's rapidly growing commercial hubs. They called it the Pinnacle. At 320 meters tall, it would not only become the tallest building in Kenya, but also the entire African continent, surpassing even Egypt's iconic tower. The design boasted a 255-room Hilton hotel, over 200 luxury apartments, a rooftop helipad, and prime office space. The developers claimed it would cost over $200 million, attract foreign investors, and put Nairobi on the global architecture map. It wasn't just real estate. It was supposed to be a landmark, a market for business tourism, and a statement to the world. Kenya had arrived. But behind the glass models and press conferences, trouble was brewing. The land on which the Pinnacle was to be built was under legal dispute, one that would ultimately haunt the project. Two parties emerged with claims to the land. On one side, James Mugoya, a prominent Ugandan businessman. On the other hand, a trust associated with the family of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, former president of the UAE. Both claimed ownership of the prime plot in Upper Hill. Court injunctions were issued. Construction was ordered to halt, but work continued regardless, even as accusations of contempt of court were levied against the developers. In 2019, the courts issued arrest warrants for senior officials of White Lotus and Haz Petroleum. Yet no arrests were made, and the legal fight dragged on, draining time, money, and public confidence. This wasn't just a delay, it was a full-blown crisis. The problems didn't end with land ownership. The Pinnacle was heavily dependent on financing. About $50 million had been injected by the developers, but the rest was supposed to come from the bank loans and private investors. Then, in 2018, Nairobi witnessed widespread demolitions of illegal buildings. Properties were razed, some with no warning. The chaos made investors uneasy. With financial institutions pulling back, cash flow dried up. The project's biggest backers, including international banks, began to stall. At the same time, Hilton, originally signed to manage the luxury hotel in the tower, began closing some of its branches across Africa, including Hilton Nairobi in 2022. And then came the final blow, the COVID-19 pandemic. The global economy went into freefall. Kenya's hospitality and tourism sectors took massive hits, and with international travel limited, the idea of a luxury hotel in Nairobi suddenly seemed like a far-fetched dream. The site, now a deep excavation crater, was abandoned, machinery removed, workers gone. The Pinnacle was frozen in time. Today, if you walk through Upper Hill, you won't find a skyscraper. Instead, you'll see an empty chasm in the ground, silent, dusty, and airy. Surrounding buildings have started to feel the effects of the massive unfinished foundation. Some owners have reported cracks in their structures, blamed on the vibrations and stress caused by initial excavation. The National Construction Authority intervened, threatening to repossess the land if the site wasn't secured and construction resumed. Public sentiment shifted from excitement to frustration. What was supposed to elevate Nairobi has now become a cautionary tale. The cost of inaction is no longer just financial, it's reputational. In late 2023 and early 2024, developers tried to revive the project. White Lotus Group and Haas Petroleum petitioned the courts to halt land auctions by financiers looking to recoup unpaid loans. They claimed the project was still viable if given more time. They also hinted at redesigning the project to better suit Nairobi's post-pandemic economy. But time is running out. In March 2024, reports surfaced that part of the Pinnacle property had been listed for auction. The developers filed urgent appeals, but with every passing month, the dream dims further. Some urban planners argue that the tower's original model, a mix of hotel, offices, and apartments, is outdated. Nairobi's real estate is shifting. The demand for hotels has declined, while residential and mixed-use developments are growing. Unless the Pinnacle is reimagined, it risks remaining a ghost project. So, what does the Pinnacle really represent? It was Kenya's boldest real estate promise, one that captured the spirit of a country on the rise, but it also exposed the fragility of overambition without strong foundations. Dreams built in the clouds need anchors in reality. Without transparency, legal clarity, and adaptive vision, even the tallest ambitions can collapse before they rise. The Pinnacle may one day rise again, or it may forever remain a scar on the skyline. But either way, it has already taught us something. Not every dream becomes a landmark. Sometimes it becomes a lesson.